Hi guys. Okay, so
Hi. Look. Banana.
yes, honey girl.
Hi.
She wants to say hi real quick.
Hi. Look, it's banana.
Band-aids. Yeah. Okay, so kind of crazy to be filming this video right now. It's not expected at all. But if it's meant to be, God has other plans. Okay, so this morning I took a pregnancy test. Because I missed my period and I've been feeling a little blah, and I wasn't worried just because I have an IUD in after I had Maya, and so you're not supposed to be getting pregnant. And I took a test this morning and it was positive, you guys. I'm gonna take it again. But honestly, with both of my kids, I took one test and they were, they're both positive and they're here and alive. So I don't know, I feel like one test is honestly good enough. But just to be safe, okay, I'm like for the first time taking multiple tests. So we'll see. My heart is beating right now. But, like honestly, my reaction when it was positive this morning, it was the strangest thing. I wasn't like worried. I wasn't freaked out. I was just like, oh, like it was kind of like a calming feeling in a weird way. And then the only thing that came through my mind was like, our wedding is supposed to be next year, and I just bought my wedding dress. Like I'm not too worried because like I talk about raising our vibrations, and when we get to a place like when we're really good and happy, it's like honestly like it really feels like nothing can bring us down. And if it's meant to be, then like we'll figure out the dress situation and we'll figure out the wedding situation. And like if like I'm not worried, like, which is so exciting and so good to be in this place in my mindset and in life to be like this. I know it wasn't always this case at all, so I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of like it's setting in a little bit, but Jan doesn't know. I've always in the past with our two kids like let him know from the beginning what I was going through, and we are not expecting this at all. And so, oh my gosh, I just don't know what he's gonna think now that I'm like talking about it. But yeah, main thing is like to be in a place where I fully trust in the universe, God, like, and our plans. And even though money has been spent on our wedding, maybe the wedding could still happen. Like I'm not, everything is booked, so we'll just see how it goes. I'm not too worried. I'm just very taken aback and surprised. But so I'm gonna take another test and we'll see how it goes. So I'm gonna show you my first test I took this morning, but the test is a little expired, like end of 2021. But I'm gonna show you just so you know I'm not like lying. It's literally freaking a strong pregnant, okay? So I'm like shaking, but if this next test is negative, I'm not lying. Like that first one, it says positive, so I don't know. I don't feel like upset, I don't feel any type of like bad way. I really feel excited, if anything, which is crazy. We really only wanted 2. We always said we're done, we're absolutely done. Literally guys, this IUD is supposed to be taken out in 2030. Like we were not expecting to have another child. Let's see what it says. god, you guys. Okay. Wait. Oh my gosh. It says yes. This is like crazy. Like, I can't even believe this. Like, my whole freaking life, I try to plan, and God is always like, I have other plans for you. Like, why do you plan anything? Like, seriously. I'm like, if you guys, I have so much stories where science and things are supposed to be like one way, and then a miracle happens. Like, I'm like the one-off case where it would happen to me. Like I don't know, it's so crazy. Like, Amaya was dead ass supposed to be a boy, and our intuition, like, we knew she was a girl, so we like waited till we announced, and then next time we got an ultrasound, they said she was a girl. Like, and then like what like, now I literally have an IUD, like, and I did the research. Like, it's rare that anyone gets pregnant with the IUD, supposedly. Okay. I'm trying to like knock off the factors right now, like how correct this is. I obviously have to go to a doctor, so yeah. I kind of feel like crying now. It's kind of hitting, and not in a scary way at all. Like, I'm really excited. It's like God really wants me to like bring in and raise children in this world. Like, he's like, please raise more children. Like, what the heck? We were like so sent on two. But it's like such a good feeling. Like, I know there's a reason. Like, I know there's a bigger purpose, and I fully trust in God's plan, like, fully. And if I could explain to you like the difference between each pregnancy, like finding out, like, this is the best I feel. This is the best I feel. Like, coming to a place where, you know, you fully trust in God's plan, and you're very happy, and nothing can, you know, we're in charge of our, you know, our mind and our life, and this is not a bad thing. Like, this is an amazing gift and blessing that I know people, you know, they need to see it that way, and it really truly is. It's not a burden, like, it's not a hardship. I truly feel like I truly feel like God said, I want you and Chandler to create another human being. And I always thought this purpose of kids, which is the craziest idea, is like raising these humans to be put into society, to be, you know, whoever you raise them to be great, to make a difference. And so, oh my gosh, I kind of think that's where I'm feeling like there's always a bigger purpose, and to not like push or to not ever doubt, you know, what's given. Yeah, it's just, God literally always has different plans for me. Like, it's so insane. I think from the beginning of adulthood, like, with my mom having her stroke, me thinking I wouldn't be able to get into the workforce because of taking care of my mom, thinking like God flipped a whole nother, like that was the beginning of my whole awakening and like what was me stage, realizing like, God doesn't give us more than we can handle. It's truly like what another quote that got me through the hardest and roughest times. And once you realize like God doesn't give you more than you can handle, every single obstacle after that is just stepping stones to something bigger. Like, and so me thinking like, what, graduate from college, like we thought I had this life planned out, and then my mom had a stroke, and then like shortly after I got pregnant with Kaden, and then we got removed from our house, the family house that I was living in, and then and it's just been figuring life out ever since. And then like literally like I got a good office job and thinking I'm gonna retire there, and then quitting that job to take photography full time. Everything has just been not exactly how it's like I thought it would be. And at this point, like I know I like literally like nothing can faze me. Like it's crazy, and nothing can be, nothing can remove this happiness that I have in me that I took so long to build and get to this place where like you're just, I always say this, like I don't know how else to describe it, like when you're vibing high, like your higher vibrations are love, gratitude, and all that, and you live life out of gratitude, like anything can happen and you'll always see the bright side of things, and that's genuinely how you feel. Like, and I feel nothing but excitement and love and like in awe about what God has like laid out for us. And despite like, it's just so humbling. Like I feel like there's so much more. Like I feel like there's such a bigger purpose and mark that we have, just being the vessel to what God wants us to be, and like him making our mapping out our plans. Just like we're his plans for us are way bigger than what we expect. Like, and so it's truly like humbling to be able to be that for him, and like to carry out his plan, whatever that may be. And that's truly the way I feel, and I'm just excited for this journey and see where it takes us. But what are the odds that this happened, and I have like a literal IUD in me that it's supposed to prevent that? Like I just don't understand. Hi guys. So it's about a week after I recorded last, and I just want to continue recording and documenting this journey just in case God puts it on my heart to share this with you all. And went on Amazon and bought Kaden upgraded to, or no, like something along the lines of the biggest brother or something like that. And then Amaya's like promoted to big sister, and I wanted to surprise everyone with those shirts. I took another pregnancy test just to be sure while I was like getting my doctor appointment situated. But then I started like spotting a little bit, and maybe I should pause here and like let watchers know that trigger warning. Also, I'll just pause here and say all this warning and trigger warnings. I've said it. So a couple of days after, I was on that high of like, no way, like God has other plans for me if he gave me, you know, like if he decided I should have a baby even though I have an IUD. And it said like 1% of people, you know, that happens to. And so I was like, okay, I'm not gonna like fight it, you know. And then I accepted it. And then a couple of days later was like noticing I was spotting, and then I looked it up. It said, I looked it up, you know, Google of course, and they said it was normal, that it was like implantation bleeding. Implantation bleeding is like when the egg just kind of attaches itself onto the walls, and then it just, yeah, and then you bleed a little. But then I kept thinking it's normal, and then I didn't know how much, you know, was normal. So I went on kind of like along with thinking everything was fine. And then so like a day after, I started experiencing like this pelvic pain that I knew it was different, like just because I felt this pelvic pain when I was in labor with Amaya. I knew that this pain was not like cramping, like normal menstruation cramping. Like this pain was different, and I know this pain, and so I immediately like started thinking like, okay, so pelvic pain, googling like pelvic pain, bleeding, pregnant, and then ectopic pregnancy came up, and I immediately thought I was having an ectopic pregnancy, which is like pregnancy on like in the tubes and not in the actual uterus. And that made sense to me because I did have an IUD in, so I was like, well, maybe that's where, you know, it implanted incorrectly, and so that's why I'm, you know, experiencing all these things. And then the more I read into it, it's actually super dangerous for mom, and it could be like life-threatening. So once like the pain was like you know, pretty apparent, I kind of knew like I couldn't hide it from Chandler, so I had to tell him. And I told him like, hey, like not to worry you, or like, hey, I had to talk to you. And then immediately he tenses up, and I tell him, okay, so I'm pregnant, but I think I'm having an ectopic pregnancy. And then, you know, he didn't want to like dive deep into Google too much. I know he didn't want to because he was just gonna like spiral more, so he just listened to me and what I said. It was, you know, I think I have to go to the ER, and he knew like, he knew it was serious if I say that. So so we went to the ER like late. I still wasn't sure what was happening, but I told them what I thought it was, and then they pretty much did like blood tests, urine tests, ultrasounds, and in the end they found out that the egg was actually in the right place in my uterus. So ectopic pregnancy was not the issue. And that was a relief in the moment. Immediately I switched to like, okay, so this baby is gonna be good. And then so I text Chan like, the egg is in the right place. And then I was kind of feeling like hopeful in that moment. And then he said, you know, he was kind of worried of like, what, but you're bleeding and you're having pain. And so I kind of like got grounded again, and I said, that's right. And then so I started to like, I don't know, kind of wait for the doctor. And I would say like, I pretty much was, I'm like such a hopeful person, and like miscarriage wasn't even in my head like at all, you guys. Like And so he said that, and he said, you know, set an appointment with your OB, this OB that we have in the hospital, because in like 1 to 2 days, just to see how well the pregnancy is going in 2 days, because women know like the pregnancy hormone rapidly increases every day. So if it even starts to decline after 2 days, you already know you're losing the pregnancy. So I am having the appointment about like 3 or 4 days after, which my appointment is tomorrow, and we're gonna see what they say. But May 7th, yesterday, I definitely think I miscarried last night. I was, you know, since this whole time been having these cramps and pelvic pain and bleeding every single day, and then I was experiencing these pelvic cramps every now and then, and it's so just painful. And yesterday night I used the bathroom, and then I just feel and hear a plop at the end of my pee, right? And I like don't know what the heck is going on. Like at this point, nobody has ever prepped me for what's to happen, and so this ball, kind of like, it's like this big, and like, I had that thought like, okay, I think this is baby, right? I like literally like I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know if that's what it was. I took a photo of it. I couldn't flush it, and I wanted to tell Chandler, but he was downstairs talking, and I didn't want to interrupt, and so I closed the lid, and I tried to stall as much as I can, but then Caden started to need to use the restroom, and he is super scared of like the house, and he didn't want to go to the bathroom downstairs, and so I pretty much, I didn't want to, I don't know, I didn't want to like yell at him like just go to the bathroom, like I guess I didn't know, so I didn't even know what it was in the first place. So then I just said, okay, fine. Before I even told Chan or showed to Chan or whatever, like I just left the lid closed and I just flushed it. And only now, kind of still not knowing what's going on and still not having my doctor's appointment, I'm like looking at other people's miscarriage stories, and it's like, yeah, like that was my baby. And I still feel like a little bit odd that, you know, we just flushed it away. I'm like literally having cramps right now. I guess like after, even like when you give birth, like you continue to get cramps after. So so I kind of wish I put on gloves and like took the baby out and buried it somewhere maybe, but people might think that's weird. It's just I just know that right now, like you know, and so tomorrow I have my doctor, and I'm gonna let them know what happened. I'm gonna show them the photo, and they're gonna test my blood and confirm that probably I'm no longer pregnant, but I shall update you tomorrow, bring you along and finish off the video. Yeah. Hi guys. Okay, so I'm back home now from my doctor's appointment, and I wanted to update you guys a little bit. So doctor was so sweet in taking me in last minute to handle this matter, and we came into the appointment, well, at the time thinking like, I'm pregnant, I need the IUD out, so we're taking the IUD out, and I guess I didn't know that like it was gonna be a miscarriage confirmation. I guess obviously after baby kind of like came out, I realized what was happening and looked forward to this appointment to confirm, of course, that everything's okay with the miscarriage and all that. And she confirmed that like baby, she did an ultrasound and she confirmed that baby is no longer in my belly. She doesn't see any signs anymore that I am pregnant. She took out my IUD, and pretty much that was that. I asked her like how rare or common it is that people or women with IUDs get pregnant, and she did say no, it's pretty rare, although it happens. Like I don't know, it's, and I kept asking myself like, okay, I got a miscarriage, so is it because of the IUD or was it non-related? Like it was pretty much asking if it was my body and if it was my health for whatever reason. Was it me that was it my body that failed, you know, this pregnancy? And she confirmed like, no, like it's not, it's definitely the IUD, so don't think that. And it made me feel better a little bit, for sure. But just to imagine like if I didn't have the IUD and to have that, you know, to fall back on and blaming, I guess you can say, for my miscarriage, I definitely would be handling this way worse, you guys. So I just have such a heavy heart for moms who go through miscarriage and natural miscarriage or any type of miscarriage without an IUD, thinking that their body failed them, because I wasn't even, you know, we weren't even planning to have a baby, and all obviously that's common, but I had an IUD in place. Like we definitely were not ready to have one. So if I were to have been planning to get pregnant and successfully got pregnant and then had a miscarriage, boy, I would be all types of fucked up. Like I don't know, like, so just, I'm one story of miscarriage, and I know for a damn fact I'm not the only one in my friend group, in my whole group of people I know, like my whole, you know, everybody that I know I'm not the only one. And the fact that I don't know anybody personally that has like shared their story with me, you know, it saddens me. But it's just society and how we just don't talk about things like this, and that's why I started this YouTube channel, to start conversations and that need to be had. Like we need to have these conversations because people need to have comfort in knowing and that like things are normal, and like not we all, but like people experience these things and it's okay. And so for the next person who, you know, in my community, in my group, in my circle, if they are watching and coming across this, like and in my circle, I mean like just any person who's in the vicinity, even watching and clicking on this video, strangers even, of course, like anyone who decides to watch this video is totally blindsided to the whole idea of miscarriage, because they didn't expect to see that kind of video from me. And so I'm opening their eyes to one story out of all the people that we know that experience this behind the scenes, and don't talk about it. So and other people who are watching this video are going through something similar and are not sure what's going on to them, and they need support. And on behalf of like all the women who have gone through miscarriages like I did, or what anyway, that like when we felt like we didn't have support going through it, just because it's such a hush-hush topic, I will be that person in our vicinity to lay it out there and give comfort to the people after us who have miscarriages, because I know that, you know, I definitely would have felt way better if I had that type of person or that type of video from someone I know and trusted, comforting me in that way. You know, I think it would have been easier knowing what was going on with my body, you know, and yeah. If anybody, you know, is watching and you're going through this, just know it's okay. You know, God has a bigger plan for you and for your family, and you know, it's just in God's hands, and that's all we can do. I don't think we should ever dwell or take pity on yourself, you know, because it's not your fault. It's really not. And I don't know if I mentioned this already, but like in trying to acknowledge my feelings, you know, kind of trying to move on and knowing life goes on, like I'm feeling like a reborn type of energy, where there's nothing stopping me now. Like everything I'm procrastinating on, like I have a new fire under my butt to get it done, and to not waste time and not waste life, because life can change like in an instant. And kind of like I really feel like right after my body feels good, I definitely want to get more consistent in working out, and I feel like working out right now would just like help me put that energy into some place positive, you know. So I'm just like excited to just brush all these off and kind of just like push toward a better, you know, me. And that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm like trying to do. I just had my appointment today, and I just, you know, it just happened. Like I'm going through it right now. My baby just like passed 2 days ago, so it's gonna take me a little bit to you know, fully move past it. I'm literally like still cramping and still bleeding, so I'm just trying to be strong. And I know everybody deals with things differently, so please don't compare any person's story to your own. Don't feel like you need to be handling things like another person has handled it. We're all different, okay? So I feel like I am very sensitive, but I'm also like a little bit stronger than what I think is average. I learned that like amazing things happen. That's why I associate tragedy with something amazing happening afterward, because I've always throughout my life like flipped it and just used that momentum toward again something good to come out of it at the end. So if this helps, if this motivates you, please let me know. I feel really good in leaving it where we are, and I just wanna, I guess, wrap up saying like I'm not trying to ask for any pity, you guys. And I don't know if we're going to tell people, but you know, so we're not asking for pity. I'm not asking for pity right now. This is honestly for the greater good, for the future and everybody after me. So that's where I'm coming from. I might not even promote this video obviously or post it to my Instagram. I'm just gonna leave it up if God puts it on my heart to post this video. And yeah, I mean, if you guys, if it helped you in any way, feel free to definitely let me know, but please don't, I don't know, like, I promise I'm not asking for like sympathy and all that. We are okay, like we are okay. So yeah, if you guys kind of feel my vibe and where I'm trying to do with this channel, I'm trying to like really uplift and challenge people intellectually, spiritually, emotionally, to open up their perspective and in the best way possible, and humble people, you know, like normalize things that are unsaid or unheard of but are, you know, totally normal things. That's what I want to do with this channel, all with my own experiences, obviously, as day-to-day life things happen. So yeah, if you like this, like, subscribe and all that. It's a little bit, you can see a little bit more of my raw personality, so if you guys enjoy this stuff, definitely stick around. Hopefully more uplifting videos after this, but yes, thank you so much, you guys. Okay, so the Amazon orders came in of the 2 shirts that I talked about that I ordered to announce my pregnancy with. So I have this shirt that says "Yes, brother," and then this is my daughter's shirt that I bought her. It says "Big Sister." So yeah, thanks guys for watching.
You say take me on a treasure hunt. I long for something new. Have you heard the fairies when they sing and dance?